going on, everybody? Welcome to the latest episode of the Legislative Director, talking about legislative things. We are back. It is season 7. And the person who's most excited about season 7, let's be real, she wished we would have stopped with season 6, but she's back anyway because she's a trooper, legislative director, talking about some legislative things. Amber Marr, how are you?
I'm hanging in there.
You are hanging in there.
My responses haven't changed in all
these years. So welcome to season 7. Welcome to, look, we took a nice little break. I mean, we didn't say we were on a break from doing work and such things. It was just, we took some time off from the show, give you all at home that are watching or listening or, you know, a little bit of a break from us. We've missed you. I've missed you.
I definitely have missed you. I feel like we need to explain. We always are like, we're going to come, like, session will end.
Yeah.
Then we're saying, hey, we're going to come back and do all of this stuff and regroup. And then we get
a lot of things happen. A lot of work happens.
So I think we need to apologize for leaving people on a ledge.
So I think what we're going to say is season 7 is the apology season. And I think it's, and I don't know what you get people for their 7th anniversary. This year, we're going to go with an apology. That's what that is our gift to you.
I think so.
Is apologizing for saying we're going to come back and then not really coming back.
We never come back. I mean, we do, but not till the next session. It's like, we don't even explain why we're not here.
Yeah, it's just sometimes like it's hard.
You probably wouldn't have wanted us to explain, because we could have come on here and we just would have looked like haggard.
Yeah, it was some rough going there. Some rough going there.
2023 behind us.
Now it's 2024, and I can't wait for 2025. So Amber,
I'm serious. This has been, what did you say today?
I said this week has been the longest month ever.
It's like it's already been a long year.
So
it's only the 11th day of the year.
It is only the 11th day of the year, and we were recording this on the 4th day of session.
Yeah.
So if that tells you anything how things are going. Amber, first of all, thanks for coming back for season 7. It's great to be with you. For those of you that are tuning in, thanks for sticking it out with us during our hiatus, as well as joining us now for the 7th season. It's crazy to think we've been doing this for this long.
I've only returned, though, for this episode. Who knows if I'll be back for the other
Look,
one.
it is a one episode. This may become a, as they call in the biz, a limited series. Because of, you never know. But while we've got you here, let's talk about some legislative things. Look, there's a lot of legislation. Bills are still dropping. We're still getting bill numbers and whatnot. So let's just touch base on a few of the bills that matter to AARP that we want to talk about, and just kind of, look, we're a bit rusty, as you've probably noticed by now. So we might want to ease in a little bit to this and just, touch base on a little bit of these bills, and then we'll get more into it as session goes on.
I think we need to back up.
Okay. That is also a valid request.
Did you say this was a short session already?
I did not.
Okay. I think we just need to remind folks, this is a short session. What does that mean? No budget.
No budget. Out by middle of March.
Supposed to be.
Or the beginning of March, hopefully.
The deadline to be out is middle of March.
Yes.
But word on the street is we could be done the first week. So it could be a very short session.
We shall see.
Oops.
That's fine. You got some emails coming.
Right. We should just turn that down.
We might want to mute that because you get a lot of emails.
Yeah, it's going to be going off a lot. But short session.
Moves very, very quickly.
Yes, absolutely.
Very quickly.
I was just going to quickly, speaking of quickly, it won't be quick, but I was just going to do a quick rundown of the deadlines.
There we go. That's great.
Is that okay?
We should talk about, this is a short session. What does that mean? But let's talk about some of those deadlines. So as you are looking at your calendar and you feel so inclined, please mark these down.
Well, because I wanted to explain right now, not all of the bills are showing up online because they could file. So let's start there. The deadline for Senate bills to be filed was Tuesday. So any Senate bill, if a legislator was going to file it in the Senate, it had to be filed by Tuesday. However, it takes a bit for those bills to populate online. Then on the other flip side of that, today was the deadline for representatives in the House to file their bills. So the House bills, today is the deadline.
And
So then it's
today
gonna,
being Thursday, we're recording this on
oh,
Thursday.
we're recording this on Thursday.
Yes.
So we could still have bills populating online throughout the middle of next week. So we still don't if we haven't heard about it, talked to a legislator about it, or in all of our conversations, we could still be surprised by things that show up next week. So that was one of the things I wanted to bring up. Then just to kind of give a quick, we'll just do the first half. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see. Third reading for House bills is February 5th. Third reading for Senate bills is February 6th.
Okay.
So that shows, we have what, 2 weeks, 3 weeks now?
Yeah, it's
before
we're recording this on Thursday, January 11th. You're probably watching this on
I don't even know what the calendar looks like.
Friday, January 12th. So now you're talking about, I don't know.
Yeah, we've got like literally a full 2 weeks before those deadlines hit.
Yeah.
So
not much time.
No, 2 weeks of committees. That's all we get.
Yeah.
Okay. Just wanted to bring that up.
Wow.
We can. Yeah, I know.
Wow.
It's crazy to think that by February, by the second week in February, we will already have switched houses of the bills. Okay.
Prefer not to think about it.
I just wanted to level set.
Yeah. Look, level setting is important. Knowing where things stand is important. And that's why we are passing that information along. And that's why people are tuning in.
So that's why it's going to be.
We're going to be quick.
Yeah.
It's going to be quick.
All right. You're up.
Senate Bill 5.
Yeah, we're going through the bills now.
We're going through the bills now. Senate Bill 5 is customer-owned lead service lines. So this is a utility bill that's coming through on the Senate side. This bill allows water utilities, because as you know, lead is bad. Lead in drinking water is very bad. And so a lot of older homes have the customer line, which for those of that you're not in the utility business, and neither am I, but from the water main, from off the main to where it physically goes into your house, that is the customer line, which generally customers are responsible for. So if that line breaks, you are responsible for paying for the fix of it. But in the case of older residences, they often sometimes have a lead line. So there's that lead kind of pipe that leads from the main to the house, and those need to be replaced. A lot of the utilities have some of this is coming down from the federal government requirements, but the utilities have started up these replacement programs that they have gone to the Indiana Utility Regulatory Commission to get approval for a fee that gets added on to everybody's bill to defray the costs of them coming in and replacing these lead lines themselves. And so this bill,
because it can be very costly if they would have to do it themselves.
If an individual homeowner has to do it themselves, it can be costly. The way that they're looking at a lot of the utilities are doing this is they might be looking to repair a main or do some work in a neighborhood where a lot of these lead lines exist. And then they will start notifying all these neighbors that, hey, you have these lead lines, we will replace it, but we need to get your okay to come on your property and do those things. What some water utilities have run into is that there are these, maybe the property owner, the homeowner is a landlord, say, and they are not local. They live out of state. The only address that's on file for the utility to contact them might be a P.O. box. And there's these long stretches of time where they do not hear back from these owners. And there might be a tenant that's living in there that says, yes, I would like this replaced, but without that approval from the property owner, they can't do that. So this is just giving them a tool, whereas in they can take care of it if they have made the effort. And I think it's like a 45-day window that they've contacted and they haven't heard back in that window through the various ways that they go about trying to contact the property owner. Is that if they don't hear back within that 45 days, then they can go onto the property and get rid of that lead line and replace it. So we testified in committee in support of it because obviously sometimes there's a good chance that maybe it's an older home, maybe an older homeowner, and when this is a way for them to be able to take care of it. I see Dan's putting up on the screen a picture of me testifying. So that was fun. And the bill passed out of committee unanimously for those that were in attendance. So
was it unanimously?
Yeah, I don't think there wasn't a no vote. We might be able to check to see if I'm wrong, because I forget if it was like I forget the exact number.
I'm only asking, not because I was.
It was unanimous, 10-0. Okay, I wasn't sure if it was 11 or nothing.
I was there. I just. Yes, but I was saying that because there were some concerns that were brought up that I think there will be a little bit more discussion along the way.
I think there were some concerns about some of the language about what does that exactly mean or defined, because there was some talk of like abandoned lines or inoperable lines, right? I forget.
And also, this is only for single family homes.
Yes, not multi-family units. So you're not looking at like apartment complexes and things of that nature. But we want to, and then there are some concerns.
You're not looking at apartment complexes.
I mean,
sorry.
I
want to make sure that.
Yes. Sorry. With regards to that, they are looking at that. I'm sorry. I'm remembering somebody testified, said something about not that, but yes, they are looking at that as well. It's just with regards
to duplexes.
Yes, it's multifamily above 4 units in a building. So thank you for that.
I was like, we are talking about apartment complexes.
I'm giving that intel out. So my apologies there. So yeah, it went well. Passed out of committee. It looks like it's going to be recommitted because there is going to be that. There was an amendment that has to do with lead testing and mitigation in schools that is going to require a recommitment to the Appropriations Committee. But it's moving forward, and that's good.
Great.
All right. I think that's the only utility one. So I'm done talking here now.
Next, well, you're not done talking. I'd love to see that. We'll watch.
Wait, you'd love to see me not talk, or?
I don't know what that meant. Sorry.
What's the next bill?
Senate Bill 10.
10.
I'm bringing this up because this is in a series
of
mobile integrated health program legislation.
Yes.
So this is something that we have been working on over the past year and a half with several mobile integrated health programs, specifically in Monticello and Crawfordsville. And now most recently, the city of Noblesville and Mayor Jensen are looking at doing something for their community that is a little bit different, but still in the mobile integrated health program space.
Yep.
And so we are trying to find ways to sustain these programs because they are amazing community programs, not only for rural communities, but also urban. And it really helps individuals remain in their homes and communities. So Senate Bill 10, it is the Community Cares Initiative Grant Pilot Program. And it is essentially sort of creating a grant pilot program for assisting with costs of starting or expanding mobile integrated healthcare programs and mobile crisis teams in Indiana. So it really, Noblesville is really looking at the mental health portion of this. And so are some other mobile integrated health programs. They will add a mental health specialist to what they already are doing, but it is supposed to be, a very encompassing program to help the needs of each community, and each community's needs can be different.
Yep, absolutely.
So while we're not in a budget cycle,
as we talked about,
as we already said, why are we talking about a grant pilot program that we want to put money in? Well, I think what will probably happen is we could pass this bill with $0 in it so that the fund is there, but then try to in 2025 get the funding for it.
Put some money in it.
But we'll see. We are very supportive of that. So along that same conversation, there is Senate Bill 142, which I am pulling up. Sorry, my computer.
So 142.
Yes, it's coverage for mobile integrated healthcare services.
Okay.
It will hopefully mirror the House bill. Currently, it doesn't, but it got a few things that were left out upon filing.
Okay.
But basically, what it's trying to do is allow mobile integrated healthcare services to bill commercial insurance so that folks who have private insurance can actually use these programs as well, and then the mobile integrated health programs can actually bill those
Okay.
insurance companies. We are, again, looking at ways to do this because a lot of these programs are only sustained by grants or donations or finding ways to, there is no sustainable funding currently. And so because they are doing such great work, they're keeping individuals from being readmitted to the hospital, medication management, just making sure that for the first 30 days after being released from a hospital or a facility, that they're getting the care that they need, and having someone to help them set up doctor's appointments, get fresh food, all of that stuff so that they can stay in their homes and get what they need after, getting out of the hospital or a facility. So Senate Bill 142 does not have the pilot program in it. It is supposed to be a pilot program to see how this would work with commercial insurance. What is the data? How does this work? Does it help? What is just kind of all of these things that we can bring back to the legislature to really then look at putting this out statewide. Again, currently Senate Bill 142 does not have the pilot program in it, but the House bill does, and hopefully Senator Buchanan, who we are very grateful was willing to carry this piece of legislation, will be putting that pilot in.
And so the House bill equivalent is?
House Bill 1378.
Okay.
And that is Representative Baird.
Okay.
Again, we're very thankful that he is taking that on, but 1378, again, is just the same concept, trying to find sustainability for mobile integrated health programs by allowing them to bill commercial insurance. And it is a pilot program established in Delaware, White, and Montgomery counties.
Okay.
And that will hopefully also be in the Senate bill.
Okay. Cool.
All right.
Yeah. Love it.
And we're really excited about this because these programs, the way that this can really connect with other health professionals in these communities and make sure that there's a continuity of care it is amazing for aging Hoosiers.
Yeah, and we spent some time up in Monticello at the end of May. See, one of the reasons we were so busy that we couldn't record this is that we went up to Monticello, spent a day with the team that's up there, and filmed a video that we will be releasing this coming week. So, and there's up on your screen now for those of you that are watching, is a little we're calling it Healthcare the Hoosier Way. It's about a 6 to 7 minute, little short film, if you will, where we talk to some of the folks there, people that have experienced their mobile integrated health program, and just kind of all around some good people up there that we get to spend some time with, and just to highlight the importance of these programs, especially in our rural communities, and kind of like a call to action to find that sustainable funding. So stay tuned for that. That will be coming to our social media channels next week. It'll be up there on YouTube and the X, formerly Twitter, and Facebook, and up on our website, a whole slew of things. So stay tuned for that.
I really can't wait for people to see it.
Yeah, I think it turned out pretty well, and it's always good when there's good people in it. And that's really what makes it so special, is because there's a lot of good folks there.
And we were really lucky to be a part of that during the day, because seeing what this program does, and it was mirrored after Crawfordsville. We can't forget to say, and Nick would say that even if he were here. Yeah. Chief Miller out of Crawfordsville, was a huge help in getting Monticello up and running and sort of sharing best practices and how they did everything. And so it just was really a great experience to see what that community is doing.
Yep.
So yeah.
Looking forward to it. Can't wait for the rest of y'all to see it as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Great.
What's the next bill?
I know we're on limited time, aren't we?
Yeah, we gotta.
There's going to be so many things we have to talk about.
I think we got to be on limited time for our own sakes, because we're a little rusty on this whole thing. So we might want to keep it as short as possible.
Okay.
But there is always
a couple more.
A lot of legislation that we're following and getting involved in. So.
Yes. Well, a couple more that everyone will recognize.
Yes.
Because it's as if it might be Groundhog Day.
I think I know what we're about to start talking about.
All right,
Let's
real
hear it.
fast. Senate Bill 52. Prohibition on use of dedicated lanes for transportation.
This does sound very familiar.
Anyone remember?
Yeah, I think so. If you would go back to previous seasons, I think going on the previous 3 seasons now.
Was it only 3? Might be.
It might even be longer than that.
But yes, this has been around. So this bill prohibits a public transportation project, including the Blue Line, which everyone knows that is here in Indianapolis, from including 1 or more dedicated lanes for the exclusive use of public transportation vehicles.
Okay.
So just know we are going to be fighting this bill. We really want the Blue Line to be built out as planned. This has been years in the making.
Yes.
So we are going to be monitoring and watching, not just monitoring. We will be watching if this bill gets a hearing, and we will be taking an opposition stance on this bill. Okay.
Stay tuned.
So let's see. What am I forgetting? Oh, another one that this is a good Groundhog Day, except for I would love to stop being able to talk about it because that would mean we would pass it.
Yeah. Agreed.
Excuse me. Okay. So 1059, House Bill 1059. This one is the Advanced Practice Registered Nurses Bill.
Yep.
We have talked about this for numerous
Long-time watchers and listeners know all about this.
Yes. So this, again, is requesting that an advanced practice registered nurse is allowed to practice to the full extent of their license, which would mean to remove the collaborative agreement that they have to have with a physician.
Yep.
So, okay. That's quick. Let's see, moving right along, and then we can call it a day. Let's see. 1222. Oh, I might need some help here. Okay, so this one is a little confusing, but it's
oh, okay. Now I know what we're talking about.
Yeah, sorry. It's the Residential Real Estate Service
I know what we're
Agreements,
talking about.
and it's House Bill 1222.
Okay.
As briefly as I can mention, is that this is going to put a stop to any company that would come in to Indiana and take advantage of anyone, but also aging Hoosiers that this former company had done by asking homeowners to sign a 40-year contract to be their real estate servicer.
Provide real estate services.
For 40 years without, and then giving them a monetary, I guess, gift.
Yeah, they kind of give them some money up front.
Yeah.
For doing that. It's like, hey, sign this. We'll give you
X number of dollars.
Yeah.
Sort of going between like 500 up to, I think, close to 2,000 or even over.
Yeah.
But after they were given that money, they sign the contract. What can happen is that then there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes once this contract is in place. It could mean that your house has a lien on it if you do not use this company to sell your home. Oftentimes, if the homeowner were to pass away, the family doesn't know that that individual had signed this contract, then they get a realtor, sell the home, then they can be sued by the company that that family member had signed a contract through because they didn't use them to sell the home. Mm-hmm. It is a vicious cycle, and it is very detrimental to Hoosiers in general, but also to aging Hoosiers who this company preyed on.
Yes.
I believe it was about 350.
Yeah, across the state. That
this actually happened to. It's a very poor practice. We will get into more detail and be a little more specific.
I mean, the Attorney General here in Indiana is involved in it now. So there's a lot of folks at the table to put an end to this practice.
Yes. And we're working with other community partners. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of folks that we'll be happy to mention in another episode of who's all behind this and helping. Because it is a good group. Okay, and then I just wanted to mention really fast because it was officially posted. Oops. Sorry. I'm a little rusty here. Okay, 1381. House Bill 1381 is property tax deductions and credits. This is also one that we were able to pass. I don't know if it was last session or 2 sessions ago.
Is this the one that raises the
assessed value
of a home to a certain dollar amount so that folks could claim that?
And I believe whatever year it was, because I completely lost track of my years.
Yeah.
We went from 200 or 200,000 to 240
Yeah, that sounds
or something
about-
like that.
Sounds
Anyway,
right.
this bill is trying, because that assessed values of homes have just skyrocketed.
Yep.
This is trying to increase the assessed value cap from 240 to 350 for individuals to get this property tax deduction, and it's individuals over the age of 65. So we are just very excited that this is being discussed again, because individuals that were over 65 getting this property tax deduction in the past, they have capped out of whatever that assessed value was, because homes have gone up so much. So they're not getting the property tax deduction anymore. And essentially, by almost doing nothing to their homes, that could have happened.
Yeah.
So we're really looking into this. Thank you to Representative Judy. We've already had a conversation with him about this, but look forward to working with him on this in the future.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that is good we could go on and on.
Yeah.
But we
trust
will.
me, we
We
won't.
will. Well, not.
we won't today. We will later.
We will later.
We
just
will
not
later.
today.
So that's all.
Okay.
Quick rundown of some of the things we're looking at. Bills are already obviously getting heard in committee moving forward. And then we have a lot of cool things coming up. We got the mobile integrated health video. We'll be having our legislative team down here soon. We'll have our regular coffee cart. Maybe we'll do another live show like we did last year. Well, we're still in the negotiations about that one. So we're trying to really get in the mix and have some fun with it. And, just do what we do. And
you didn't say the date, but I did want to just
let's give a plug.
Our volunteer legislative team will be down at the Statehouse on Tuesday, January 23rd for a coffee cart. So stop by, say hello.
For those of you that are in town,
yes,
roll past the Statehouse, get some coffee. I think there's going to be some cinnamon rolls, maybe. I heard. Rumor has it, cinnamon rolls.
They're going
which
to be
are
delicious.
Really good at any hour of the day, and with coffee especially. So. That is the scoop that I'm giving you all.
And there's several different flavors.
Only for listeners and watchers of the show will you know that we'll have cinnamon rolls.
With different flavors of frosting.
So don't tell your friends. Maybe tell your friends. I don't know. Either way, something that they don't, and you can hold it over their head.
You didn't seem as excited as I needed you to be about the icing.
I love icing. I'll eat it straight out of the tub. It just depends on what kind it is. And I'm looking forward to the options of cinnamon rolls, icing, and we have gone off the rails talking about these cinnamon rolls. But I love it. It's going to be delicious. Coffee's going to be great. Cinnamon rolls are going to be great. Come on by. It'll be a good time. And we'll talk about some legislation, some of which you have already heard today.
Yes.
Okay. Anything else, Amber?
I'm glad to be back.
I almost believe you. No, I actually think that was actually genuine.
I think it was.
It's good to be back. Thank you all for sticking with us. I hope you're excited when you see this pop up in your feed that there's this new podcast and whatnot, because you probably have forgotten. But we're still here. We're still doing the thing, and we appreciate all of you for everything that you're doing. Yes. And Amber, I appreciate everything that you're doing. Dan,
you too. Dan,
can't do it without you. Everybody, just appreciation all around. It is good to be back.
It took us a little while today to get set up, so thank you, Dan, for your patience.
Yes, we got here, and we're gonna get through this session. We're gonna keep it rolling. Thank you all for joining us on this journey, and we have obviously forgot something.
I forgot to mention about the Behavioral Health Commission, but maybe we can touch on that.
Let's talk about that next time.
Do we still have time?
We do have time.
Okay, because it's coming up.
Yeah, it is coming up.
Okay,
January 31st. We'll talk about that.
Okay.
Okay.
Don't let us forget.
That's good, because that's also something that's happened since we left all of you.
What came out of a piece of legislation last year.
It's come full circle.
All right.
Love it. Okay, Amber, thank you.
Thank you.
Dan, thank you. All of you, thank you. And we will see you next time on the next episode of The Legislative Director, talking about legislative things. See you then.